the case, man. Campaigning the bear of the hate, so say your praise, man. Fall behind a nigga, back to saying in his face. I'm a thoroughbred nigga, I don't fake it, I don't hate. Got no resume, nigga, my records are cut. Anywhere in the A, nigga, till it's high respect. N and MIA, nigga.
What is going on, everybody? It is Uncle Nick, and I'm coming at you with another top 3 video. This top 3 video is going to be on overhead press movements that help my overhead press. So assistance movements. And my top 3, number 1 being the Z press, number 2 being tricep extensions to help with that lockout, and number 3 being waiter's walks to help with the overhead stability. So broken down, they are all actually different parts of the overhead press movement and coming together making a stronger overhead press. So individually for assistance, I do at least one of these things each time I'm doing assistance movements. So without further ado, let's get rolling to number 3, the waiter's walks. Alright guys, so number 3 on the list, and that's the first thing we're going over, is the waiter's walk. And I love the waiter's walks because it reinforces your lockout position stability. You basically take something, put it over your head in the locked out position, and you walk with it for 100 foot, 200 foot, whatever you need, as heavy as you want. It is very versatile. You can use just about any implement. You can use dumbbells, barbell, axle, log, circus dumbbell, kegs, whatever you have access to. You can go out and find a rock, pick it up over your head and carry it with 1 or 2 hands, and you're gonna get something out of it. It reinforces stability from the ground up. It'll tax your core, it'll tax your shoulders, your triceps, and then you're walking with it, so you're getting legs with it as well. It is a full body thing, and it will help your overhead stability tremendously, and you can adjust the difficulty however you want by adding bands to a barbell, whatever. So a few of the variations that I'm going to show you are, one of them is the double underhand keg. And by double underhand keg, I mean you're holding it on the bottom. So it's not staggered like you typically see a keg clean and press. It is double underhand, and you're going to want to stay lighter because it creates a very unstable press. So basically you're just going to clean it, press it, and walk with it. Double underhand, and it's gonna be very unstable. You're not gonna need a lot of weight for this because you'll see. One of the other variations are barbells and dumbbells because they're simple. You just grab the barbell or the dumbbell, hold it over your head, and you walk with it. Now you can also add bands to a barbell or an axle and hang weight from the bands, and that will create a bamboo bar type effect, and it'll have you all over the place. You can stop and throw in some presses in the middle of your walks here and there to really smoke your shoulders, but that will really help with your lockout stability. And one of the last variations I want to show you guys is a kettlebell or bottoms up kettlebell. That's where you flip the kettlebell over so the bottom where the weight is actually up. And that is a very unstable way to hold a kettlebell, and it is great for waiter's walks. So that is it for the waiter's walks and the lockout. We're gonna move on to number 2, which is tricep extensions. All right, so the tricep extensions, they're very simple and you've probably already done them, but it is something that I like to do to help with that lockout power, and you wanna move it explosively as if you were trying to get to that lockout. If you're achieving lockout on a bench or overhead press, you're not gonna do it slow. You're gonna put in the intention to do it fast and hard. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab a band, you're gonna hang it from the top of a rack or from about waist height on a rack. It's 2 different variations. So like I said, you can use cables or bands. We have bands here, so I'm gonna demonstrate with bands. So with the bands, it's increased tension. So you can, the farther you stretch it out, the harder it's gonna be. The heavier the band, the harder it's gonna be. So, and I like the lockout to be difficult. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna string the band from the top of the rack, and you're going to keep your elbows stationary and explode to that lockout, pushing down with those bands. Once you get to that lockout, you want to squeeze on it for a quick second, like a 1/1000 release, explode to lockout 1/1000, explode to lockout 1/1000. It's really simple, guys. For the overhead, it's the same thing. You're gonna put the band at about waist height, take the band, turn around, and you are going to explode to that lockout, keeping your elbows stationary, and you're gonna be driving over your head. You're gonna kind of be standing at an angle, which allows you to clear the back of your head you're gonna have to turn your hat around and wear your hats backwards like I do because it'll just knock it off. We're going to explode to that lockout and keep driving, and same thing, you're gonna squeeze at the top for that 1,000 and then release. And it's gonna be hard, fast, just like a lot of things we do. You don't wanna ingrain a slow movement, you wanna ingrain that explosive power. So that is number 2. We are going to move on to number 1, which is the Z press. All right, guys, so the Z press is another simple movement and very effective, and that actually trains the pressing motion itself from bottom to the top. So all you're gonna need is a barbell, dumbbell, axle, log, any implement you wanna press with. You can do it with kettlebells even. It's another versatile movement. If you have a competition coming up, and there's an axle press or a log or circus dumbbell, you can use all of those implements for the Z press. And what I like about the Z press, it is strict and you can't really cheat it because you're sitting on the ground with your legs out in front of you and you're just pressing. It is pressing in its most simple form. It's one of my favorite things to do. You can run it into Tabata, you can run it every 30 seconds, and it will smoke you, it will humble you, and it's another thing, you can add bands to the bar, make it more difficult. I love I love taking something that's a really simple exercise and just making it harder. One thing I've learned is that usually the most simple exercises like running hills, like I showed you in the last top 3 video, or Z presses, are usually the most humbling. Like I said, with the Z press, you're gonna grab a barbell, an axle, or a dumbbell, or kettlebells even, and you're gonna sit down with your legs out in front of you. Then you're gonna continue to press for however many sets or reps you have, or if it's Tabata, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, you're just gonna press your little heart out. I can't emphasize enough, it's really simple and it's very versatile because you can use just about anything for it, guys. That is about all I got for you guys this week. Be sure to check out Brian's channel. He just released that programming video and it is invaluable knowledge. Go over there, check that out, study that because he is a programming guru, and the fact that he's putting that out there for you guys is a blessing because it is awesome information. But until next time, guys, you know what the deal is. Get out there, get after it, and embrace suck.